Everything that we do, we create.
Good day, family. Provoking Thought and Seeking Truth is back with you again. I have my rocks with me, but I don't think I'm going to need them because my illustrious cousin, Darius Wise, has helped to calm me down.
What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of PTST. We're glad to be with you. Denise, I'm so excited about all this.
You don't sound like it.
I'm excited. I don't?
Where are your rocks?
I know I need to go get me some rocks.
I know. You know what? That's okay. You're just fine, Darius.
Yeah. I don't know if they can handle both of us having rocks.
No. And I don't need any rocks today. Nemo is on the land.
Uh-oh.
She landed.
Yes, she is. I'm excited. I'm glad that she's here.
Me too. So, you know what, family? I've gotten a couple of calls from people asking me, what in the world are you so excited about? What's going on with you? Why are you needing rocks? And it's like, it dawned on me. Everybody doesn't think like us, Darius.
That's true.
Remember the mandala with all of the different facets and the source bestowing the breath of life and the difference, which is 1 of degree?
Yep.
Yeah. So I said, all right, I'm going to tell why I'm so excited. Okay. You're not going to hear this on MSNBC. You're not going to hear it on CNN, and you're not going to hear it on any mainstream media, right? You didn't hear it from me either. Okay? If you say I said it, I'm going to deny it. But Darius, are you with me on this now?
I am.
All right.
And I think that this is good for you to share and for us to share this because we're not going to hear this on mainstream media. And it's very crucial that we understand what's actually taking place. And it's bigger than either one of us or any one of us individually.
Exactly. I found that out when I got that burst of energy.
Yep.
It's like, ooh. Okay, folks. So you know what? We're going through something that only happens in this universe every 21,000 years. All right. I've heard varying numbers, 20, 21,000, 25,000, but whatever. We're going through something that only happens every 21,000 years. Darius, can you imagine that?
That's a big number when you talk about years. And the reason that it's a big number is because most of us, as you know, beings on this planet live less than 100 years.
Right. So to be able to fathom even 10, I don't even think our history books go back that far.
No.
Right. So we're cut off from that. Okay. So every 21,000 years, can you imagine being alive to witness something like this?
But here we are.
And it's not being talked about at the dinner table.
Nope.
You know,
we've never been told this anyway. We've never been given this type of information. So I'm excited to hear.
But that goes back to the non-education of us and exactly what we talked about in our last episode.
Yep.
Where we are dictated to what we need to learn, that we're we're passive recipients of the knowledge, that there's a time for us to learn certain things.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not told that, then it doesn't exist, right? And then you
Right.
talked about being curious and that you have to be able to step outside of that box, okay? But last week we called that philosophy of learning and who the learner is, pedagogy. Can I
Right.
give that a name?
Sure.
I want to call it Papa's way.
Ooh, I like that. Y'all
All
got that?
right. Yeah.
So the way they educate our kids and our babies and how they educated us was Papa's way.
Papa's way.
Papa's way, because we learned what Papa wanted us to learn.
Exactly, because it's a patrician patriarchal way
Mm.
of learning.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say patrician, what I mean is it's something that the elite and the those of nobility embrace,
Mm-hmm.
and patriarchal because it is considered to be the male's way
Mm. Yep.
in our society. So we're going to call the pedagogy that we introduced you to last week Papa's way.
Papa's way. I like it.
Papa's way. I think I'm getting off course, but at any rate,
So what's happening now? We're in this cycle.
now is that we are shifting into a new age. All right, you've heard the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, and so on and so forth. I already mentioned that. I don't know what to call. Well, I do. All right, this is what I'm going to call it. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it the age of Aquarius.
That would be me.
That would be you,
Yeah.
right? Because we're not taught things according to timelines that sync with the solar system, that sync with the universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's what keeps us connected
Right.
to the universe as being part of the universe in that big mandala.
Right.
Okay. We're on what's called the Gregorian timeline system.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is Pope Gregory stuff, Pope Gregory VIII, I think. But it is broken down into segments so that, of course, we can organize our day,
Right.
organize our week, organize our month, organize our year, right? But it doesn't really jive with the universal connection. All it does is tell us when to be to work.
Right. Yep.
And when it's time to come home. It really doesn't tell us the time. You know, you can go back to ancient calendars, the Stonehenge, the stone ring, the Mayan calendars.
Mm-hmm.
And those are calendars that are connected to the universe.
Yes.
We didn't forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we are operating according to Gregorian timeline, and we forget all about the big, vast universe which we are a part of.
Right.
And which we've been disconnected from. So we don't pay any attention to ages because, I mean, 21,000, who cares what happened 21,000 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So now here we sit with the changing of an age, all right? You know what? I missed a piece. I was explaining why I geared towards that zodiac calendar and came up with Aquarius. But at any rate, I want to talk about, would you help me talk about world order?
Oh, yes, let's talk about that.
All right, because that's all an age is. It's a world order. And when I say a world order, what I mean is it's the mood, it's the morals of the culture, it's the spirit of the
Hmm.
culture. It's what the way that everyone thinks, the way that everyone behaves, right? And it's such an invisible force
It is. And it's
that
very powerful though.
it's very powerful because we're talking about a collective conscious or even unconscious
Hmm.
mood, right? Or spirit or energy or force that is prevalent.
And that is what, if you're paying attention, you should notice that that is changing.
Boy, oh boy, is it
And
ever.
and it's not just paying attention to what you see, but paying attention to what you feel, how you feel. You can feel that. You feel the energy change. So you have your body has gives off these feelings to let you to give you some understanding that something's different. There's a shift in the power in the universe. There's a shift in the consciousness, or beginning to be in the consciousness of the people.
Well, exactly. But this energy force, this invisible energy force, is tied to the moon. It's solar. It's
Hmm.
when the stars line up. That's why I kind of move towards that zodiac, um, that zodiac calendar. It just really it's helpful for me.
Right.
So now, and you said something else that was very interesting, Darius. You said energy.
Hmm.
If you are an individual who is very sensitive to energy, like myself, you
Hmm.
feel it too, right?
Hmm.
But it makes me bonkers,
Yeah.
right? Because and the thing that's so different about this new shift is um that the frequency is super high.
Yep.
The vibration has been accelerated,
Hmm.
right? It's like the clock is moved, time is flying, look at the clock kind of
Yep.
thing,
Yep.
right? And if I had gone to my doctor 3 weeks ago, he would have given me some lithium or some Seroquin and said, "You're having a manic episode,"
Right.
right? But because I know that I'm very sensitive to energy, I knew that I wasn't losing it, right? But that
Hmm.
I needed to be able to manage this high frequency of energy. I
But
mean, whew,
Denise, that's so good. I'm glad you said that, because here, family, this is what I need. I want to say about that is that there's so many people out there that are going through things and they're feeling all of these feelings and they don't understand why. And just like you mentioned, Denise, that they may be going through all of this thinking that they're losing it, and they
oh
don't
yeah,
realize that it's not them. It's not that they're losing it. It's that they're very sensitive to the energy, and they're vibrating at a level where they're actually starting to sense all of these things, and what they're thinking doesn't make sense to what we've been taught. What they're thinking doesn't make sense to what they're seeing on mainstream media, social media, and all that. And they're feeling these things and they don't understand why they feel like they're losing it. Like they may be going crazy, or they may be, need something to kind of calm them down, because the energy is so high. Their energy vibration is so high. and
Yeah, no,
nobody's
exactly.
understanding them.
Yeah, no, nobody's not. And people are just, I have uh clients come to me and want to know what's going on. Remember I
Hmm.
told you after COVID, they were people were coming to me talking about this anxiety
Yep.
and not feeling like they were under control,
Yep.
just kind of spacey, um, feeling confused. I know mine started out with headaches
Right.
all up in through here, and it's like, what in the world is going on with?
Hmm.
Why am I getting these headaches?
Yep.
And I finally figured it out. It's like this is an energy shift. Since I started doing things, one of them was to breathe.
Breathe. Yes.
Yeah, what was to breathe. But so now, because um this paradigm shift or change in energy or age is not being talked about mainstream, a lot of what we're seeing is the results of a bad divorce.
Mm.
Okay, where the old era or the old age, which they call Pisces, is being ushered out,
Hmm.
right? And that's that patrician patriarchal era or energy, and the new age is trying to rise up.
Hmm. Of
All right, the old age doesn't want to go,
course not.
and so they're kicking up a stink,
Hmm.
right? They don't want their way of being,
To end.
their mindset to go away.
Right.
And so all this chaos that you see is a result of that war
Hmm.
that's going on. The old age being ushered out and the new age surfacing up. Okay. But in the midst of this chaos, what the chaos does is it distracts us.
That's what I was going to say. It's just distractions.
Yeah. It keeps us focused on all these battles,
Yep.
all of these wars, I mean, the Ukrainian war,
Hmm.
the battles in the streets, this with the news, all of the DOJ stuff, with all of the confidential top security, that's all a distraction.
Yep.
So that we focus on what's going on outside of us,
And
and
not pay attention.
we're not paying attention to the changes that are happening with us
Right.
trying to emerge in this new era
Yeah.
or this,
Because
this new age.
yeah, because you said the key thing is that the old regime doesn't want this change, because this
No,
change is going to bring in a new, and this is one of the things you said earlier too, it's going to bring in a new way of thinking. It's going to be a new way of navigating this life we have, and that's going to change now, and the control is going to be broken.
oh, of
This
course.
structure is going to be broken, and we have to. So I'm glad that you're breaking it down and giving the information that you're giving, because we have to be prepared. And this is not to scare you, family. This is not to have you thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's the Armageddon and all that. But we have to be prepared. Here's one of the things that always kind of it kind of bothers me a little bit, but makes me think, because it lands differently on me, right? And this is just about how the changing of all this. If it changed right now, Denise, are we ready as a people? Are we ready for the change and to be able to move forward? Because there are so many distractions, and this is where I think the distractions play a big part in this non-education that we've been talking about. There's so many distractions that we don't take the time to really think about What is it that I'm hearing, I'm feeling inside? What is it that I need to do to prepare and be able to hear clearly what's being said inside, and get away from and not be distracted by the distractions, so that we can move forward. And it also is going to come into us having the ability to change our paradigm, to change the way we think, because that Eastern, I mean, that European philosophy and mindset that we actually have ingrained, has been ingrained in us, has to change. We can't function. We're not going to be able to move forward with that same level of thinking. So a lot of that is going to have to change as this is going, but we have to be prepared and understand that this is happening, so that we can do what's necessary to move forward, and to be able to continue to grow and be ready for this shift that's happening.
Okay. I agree with you, Darius. And one of the things to prepare ourselves, one of the ways that we could use to prepare ourselves is to be more aware.
Exactly.
And to listen, because there are signs and symbols
Everywhere.
all over the place, but we don't
Everywhere.
pay attention. We listen to the words that we've been given, this language
Mm-hmm.
that we have been given, and we take things so literally.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
and then we don't dig. We don't dig. We don't read between the lines. We don't dig into what's being said either, to really understand what's the underlying message.
but that's not how our educational system works. And that's exactly what we talked about last week.
Yep.
You know, you gotta be able to take in exactly what you're told. You're a passive learner. The curriculum has been designed. This is what you need to know.
Right.
Okay. So I mean, and we're not thinking critically. All right. What we're talking about right now is in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Bible talks about us being engaged in a war of principalities, principles,
Yep.
thoughts, ways of being.
Yep.
And so, but what do we focus on? Or what does the media give us? They give us the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, and that they're raiding people's house.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're given the distraction. Mm-hmm. This is a war of ideas.
Yeah.
It's a war of the mind.
Yep. And those distractions, what I think is very interesting too, Denise, is that, and I wonder if people are really catching this, but the distractions are destructive. They're distractions of destruction, like all of them. It's death. It's war, like you said, from war to disease to everything. It's a distraction of destruction. So now, because it's destruction, and it's so much of it right now, and the reason I feel it's so much of it right now is because this is happening so rapidly. And so in order to maintain control and keep things as they were, we have to scare people. They feel like we have to impose fear, even more fear, into everybody so that they stay still. So the amygdala kicks in, and your body and your brain is really, putting out so much cortisol every single day, all day long, and you're living in fear. No wonder you're stressed. No wonder you feel not like yourself. No wonder that you can't get it together. You're not being able to sleep at night. Because this is part of the plan in order for us to not realize that there's a new age coming. There's a new age
World
on the
coming,
rise. There's a
just
new,
around the bend.
it's just around the bend. And it's coming. But we don't realize it because we are so inundated with destruction and the fear and all of this, the distractions, that we don't take the time to sit and just be still and realize. And we're not connecting with the earth at all.
No, and that's our source. We're operating on that Gregorian timeline. But the other thing that this destruction does, Darius, is that it lowers the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of people die mass, that lowers the vibration.
Right.
And there's a lot of confusion and chaos and fighting. The chaos is a form of control, but it controls us and it lowers our energy. And so when our energy gets lowered, we go into like a state of confusion sometimes, yep. Right? And we start to feel depressed. We start to feel apathetic. It's like, I'm going to just sit down over here in the corner and I'm going to pray for it to be all over.
Right.
You know, I'm going to just go away. Right. And so the energy, when the energy level goes down like this, what does it do? It prevents us, like you said, from connecting with the higher vibration that's going to enable us to grow.
Yep. Yeah. And then for those that feel like, all right, I need to go see somebody, I need to go talk to someone. And unfortunately, so often they get put on this medication that maintains that low level of vibration. It keeps you there. We don't need you hype. We don't need you, at a higher frequency. We need to keep you here. Let's keep you here. So in order to do that, I'm a prescribe this medication for you so that you can stay at this even keel right here, right at the base of where we need you. Because we don't need you up here. We don't need you being able to connect with this vibration and this energy that's at this higher level. Because if you're there, you might if you're there, you might realize what's going on.
I know, it's like it's a lockdown. COVID, it's not a code, it's a mind lockdown.
Yep.
You know, we're getting our brains banged and our bodies slammed with all of these distractions.
Yep.
So that we don't, and it's, you know what? I was talking to somebody the other day and they said, you know what, Dr. O, it's an effort for me to think. It makes me tired to even try to think.
Wow. Now,
so tell me what to do. I said, I'm not telling you what to do. You go take yourself an Epsom salt, an alcohol bath, light yourself a candle, smoke some weed if you need to.
Right.
It's not funny, but that's where I was.
Yeah. But that's so many people are feeling that. But this is the thing. Most people feeling that and don't even know what to do. So it's all bottled up inside.
You're right, Derek. But I used to be like that. I'd be looking outside of me for the answers.
You and me both.
But wait now, don't get me wrong. Don't think that you got to go into lockdown like the rugged individual, because you don't. You can hear things from people, because you never know when you're going to encounter an angel or somebody will say something to you and it just kind of resonates and confirms confirms you, and bingo, your problem is resolved.
True.
What you were confused about. I mean, it's a full body feeling that you
It
get.
is. It's a very visceral effect. Very
Oh God,
visceral.
it's so good. It's like, aha.
But see, and that's why. See, I hope that everybody watching, if they don't already have somebody, that they get somebody that they can talk to that's open, right, and that understands, and it's not looking at them as in a non-judgmental way. Let's say that. That's so becoming so cliche, but in a non-judgmental way, and understanding that. And that's why I'm so thankful that I have you, because the conversations just that we have, I can't have that conversation with a lot of people. And that's why I'm glad that people are watching, everybody's watching here, because I want them to just begin to think on a different level and understand that we're here. If you have comments, put your comments and put your comments in the comment section, and let's discuss it, and let's talk
Yeah,
about it, because you need to have someone that you can really share really what's going on, and that can give you some guidance if needed, and this be a open listening ear where you don't feel like you're insane when you talk to them, or make you feel that way, because there is a shift happening, and
yeah,
what
you
you're feeling is real.
right. So what I have to say um, to people that think that I'm crazy, it's like, I'll take the compliment.
Every time.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll
Thank you.
take it. I'll take. Thank you. Yeah. Gratitude.
Yes, much gratitude all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
because in how look, just real quick with that, everybody that did, and I think I said this before, everybody who did something amazing and accomplished something great, they thought that they were crazy in the beginning.
that's right. That's right. So
So
you know what? Sometimes we talk, Darius, without even talking. So I'm
that
so
happens a lot.
I know. But that was way back in the day. I mean,
Uh-huh.
way back, our ancestors did that. But there's two other things I want to say.
Okay.
And then we can share with you ways to better facilitate the transition um, that we're going through, and we're asking you to join us. We don't want you to get left behind. All right.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the difference between the old world order and the new world order.
Okay.
All right. I made a quick little list, and I think I may have shared that list with you. And
You might have. I'm not sure. Go
I
ahead and
had it.
share.
All right. All right. All right. So we're going from an age of believing to knowing.
Mm.
Remember, I talked
Mhm.
in our first episode about knowing. You don't need to know everything outside of you. The bottom line is knowing everything inside of you,
Mhm.
knowing who you be,
Who you?
who you be.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, because with this transition, you're going to change. You're
Oh
not
yeah.
the same person that you were even a month ago.
Mhm.
I know I'm not. I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
Right.
Right. So that's one thing. Believe, I believe, I believe. No, you got to get to the point where I know.
I know.
And
Yep.
people will come along to confirm that which you know. You will read a book that will confirm that which you know.
Mhm.
Something will come to you. And so it's about paying attention. Okay. So the old age, I'm going to move on. The old age has a very low vibration.
Mhm.
New age accelerated. The energy, the vibration, the frequency is off the chain.
Yep.
It's very high. All right. There is going to be the way of deception. and lies are moving out of the way. That's what's trying to stay here. And they're bombarding us with more and more. And the more they bombard us, the veil kind of lifts and we see through it.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to an age of honesty. All right. Truthfulness, the subjective kind of truthfulness, which includes your intuitive self.
Right.
All right. There is, in the old age, there's a lack of character. All right. The new age then has character as the focus, character building as the focus, right? Inner wisdom. Old paradigm is the greed and the control over the mind. All about the mind, you know, because if you control people, you get them to work for you forever for a pittance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. There's this authoritarianism that went along with that old age. All right. We're moving more towards a kind of collectivism. Where that hierarchy is diminishing. So we're rising up, but we need to be able to stay together in unity.
Right.
Okay. There's not going to be a lot of conflict, right? Because the source of conflict is always a difference in perception. Me thinking one way and you thinking another way.
Right.
All right. And that's a lot of what the battle is. It's a brain, a spirit, mind control. Right. That's going to diminish because we're going to have the ears to hear others, and there's going to be the possibility for the integration of opposites. Okay. And there's going to be judgment is going to go away. Not going to be as judgmental. And there's going to be peace and there's going to be more love.
Yeah. And that's how I've been feeling lately. Like I told my oldest son, Kwashi, I said, we were having a conversation about something. And I said, I'm at a point in my life where my primary goal and focus is peace. I just want peace. You know, I don't need the chaos. I don't want all the hoopla going on and all of the distractions. I want peace. And especially in my household, I want peace. I don't want a bunch of stuff. And so I've been feeling this for a while now. It's like you can feel like the stuff that's going on just doesn't make sense to me. It's a lot, all the chaos. And you probably feel this. And those watching, you all watching, you probably feel some of this stuff. Like, okay, enough is enough. And I'm at a point where it's like, I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for peace. I feel that love is really kind of empowering and taking over. And that incorporates a lot of the stuff that you just said, and like being open and being able to hear the other person and not be judgmental and not live in the world that we've been taught and we've been cultured to understand as, if you don't look like me, I don't need to listen to you. Or if you don't look like me, I have to listen to you.
Or if you don't think like me.
Or if you don't think like me. Yes. So I agree. I feel that shift in mindset.
Oh, come on, boy. Come on aboard.
Coming?
Get on the ship.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
So I'm with you. And it's
right.
But the biggest thing is, earpiece keeps falling around. But the biggest thing is that we have to be prepared for this. We have to be prepared. We have to know that it's coming. We have to and be just be aware that it's coming, and now start to pay attention to the feelings that we get, what we're seeing, and it's being displayed really in plain sight.
Mhm.
But we
Mhm.
have these scales over our eyes. We have these blinders on where we're really not seeing what is really transpiring. We're not seeing it, but it's right in front of us. So I'm glad we're here to really, be able to um, share that so people can actually start to say, oh, I'm not crazy. There is something going on. I need to pay more attention to this. I need to
Yeah.
be curious. It's one of the things I talk about in my book. It's the curiosity. We have to be more, you have to be curious. And it's not, Denise and Darius said, this is what's happening. Do your research. Do your
Right, because I want
research,
to tell you,
guys.
I didn't say it.
Right? Denise
You
didn't say
said
it.
it for me.
Do your research. Yes, because
Oh.
it's a lot coming.
One thing that I forgot to share was that this energy shift began in 2013.
Hmm.
I would like for our listeners to really think about any landmark experiences that they had in the year 2013.
That would be interesting to hear. So put in the comments, what happened? What happened? What major event happened to you in 2013?
Yeah, yeah, because were a lot of big things that happened, and that was when the new age, the new world order, really began. You could see the seeds being planted for it. Um, but there were some dramatic shifts that occurred in 2013. There were a lot of things that ended, a lot of new beginnings, and so
Hmm.
on and so
Yep.
forth. So
Dr. Denise, anything you want to share before we wrap up?
there's one thing that I do want to say. I would like to dedicate this show to my father, to Kenneth Victor O'Sullivan Sr.
Mm,
All right. I was a daddy's girl, and he used to call me his pork chop. All right. But he was the one that really encouraged my adventurous ways. He encouraged my curiosity. I wanted to sew at 10 years old. I got a sewing machine. I mean, I wanted to travel. He was the one that had my back.
mm.
I was a good cusser too. I've never heard anybody. No, one person I have found that cusses better than my father. But at any rate, my father he loved jazz.
Hmm.
All right, and he would play um, he would play music, and we would just kind of sit and groove, right? But there are a couple of songs that he used to play. Well, one artist in particular that he really liked, and it was Nina Simone. And he used to say when she was singing "Young, Gifted, and Black," he would
Hmm.
say to me, "Listen to the words, pork chop. Listen to the words." Right. Then there was another song that she sang that he said the same thing. And this song was "A New World Coming,"
Mm.
right? And again, he would say, listen to the words, listen to the words, pork chop. And I would just listen. He must have known that I didn't like it here,
Right. Right.
but there was a promise of a new world coming. And so it's the song that I have held in my heart. My voice is cracking up a little bit, but I want to thank Papa for giving this song to me and planting this seed in my heart.
Mm.
I perhaps we could play the song before we go out, or after we go out, we can play just to leave the sentiment with people.
And understand that there's a new world coming.
That's right.
So as always, guys, yes, as always, thank you for joining us for another episode of PTST. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Ashe, Papa.